Welcome to Breath Beauty. In standing, come to wake up the feet, lifting a heel, then the other. Changing this to rolling over the toes. Roll over. Changing this now, lifting one heel and letting that leg circle, change direction. Other leg, circle, change direction. Letting your toes wiggle and jiggle. And imagining now that the feet are growing roots all the way down into the earth. Let the toes settle and have a sense of your legs, your torso, and even your arms at the moment as the trunk of a tree. We're going to let the tree trunk move subtly with the wind, so shifting weight. And then we're imagining the arms as branches, the fingers as leaves, and we settle from this. So our session connecting with breath, particularly the in-breath to inspire, and the connection with inspiration and imagination. We're going to imagine a tree again. We're going to let the arms lift, rest the elbows on large beach balls. The palms turn inwards. A different sense of tree, firm, stable. Qigong tree. So in Tai Chi. And then from this, the arms come down. We shift the weight into the left leg, the right heel to ankle. And you'll lose my arms, but they're coming up over the head, connecting the palms. So you could stay here. You might try and raise a leg into a balance. And bring that down, hands to heart. So the yogic tree, less stable. The sense of perhaps a smaller trunk. Shifting the weight now into the right leg, the left heel across, finding our linear branches We could stay here. We might decide to take a balance. And then we bring this down. Hands to the heart. So from the trees, we find our bird wings. A sense of flight with the next 2 sweeps. We lift the heels. Then we have a leg lift with the wings. And then we are lifting the right heel. We are bending and taking the arms back. We could stay here, or we could take the right foot and have a balance. We then come out of this. We're going to shift the weight into the right. The left heel is up. We bend down and let the arms come back. We can stay here, or we might choose to balance. We release. So in yoga, many of the positions, postures, however you like to call them, will reflect aspects of nature and life. And so we need our imagination, inspiration. From here, we are taking the right leg forward, the left leg back. Inspiration to take an in-breath forwards and out-breath back. In, out, in, out. We'll take the weight onto this front leg. The back leg is coming further back, and we find our warrior one. We bring the arms back down, hop the back foot in, or slide it in, and we have an in-breath as the arms come up, and out-breath down. In-breath, the weight is slightly forwards, out-breath back. In-breath, out-breath. We're taking the back leg, it is coming in. We're resting on the ball of the foot, and the opposite arm is coming up. So we can stay here. We could take the foot off. We might be able to take hold of that foot. Some of you might even be able to take this leg up. And then we bring it back all the way down. Ready now to repeat on the opposite side. So it's the right leg. I'm coming back a bit further. The right leg is back. We have the in, out, in, out, in, and out. We then find our warrior one. We take the leg back. So the warrior positions give that sense of strength, courage, determination. We're going to bring the arms down, pop the foot back in, and then we have an in-breath and out-breath. The difference is the arms are to the sides rather than forwards and back. We bring that back leg in, rest on the ball of the foot. We're going to take the opposite arm up. We can stay here. We might take the foot off. We might try to hold at the ankle. Some of us might even try the dancer position. And then we soften out of this. So for breath, we need the lungs. We're going to have a sense of the lungs by reaching the arms up, even though you can't see all of mine. You can imagine them there. And we reach from the left lung, right, left, and right. We're now keeping the left arm up, the right comes down. We bend, place the hands at the back. Some of us might be able to clasp. It's not necessary, but we're trying to keep the lungs open rather than contracted. We release from here. I'm going to have a swing, 1 and 2. When we come up, it will be the right arm. It bends, possibly they are apart at the back, possibly there's some connection. We release, 2 more swings. Leading now from the lungs, soften through the knees. We're going to spinal twist. So you can choose whether the pelvis comes with you or you keep it forward. Finding that rotation. And then we let that sit. So our final flow in standing, we're going to widen the legs here. We're going to have a sense of grounding the breath, taking it down into the legs, into the earth. We're starting by stroking down the kidneys, and the kidneys are very close to the lungs on each side, and they can help to anchor the breath in the body, taking it down deeper. From here, we bend the left leg, and then the right arm is coming up. We arc over. We're going to lift, if it's comfortable, the left heel. That then comes down, and we open over to the left into warrior two. So you might be looking towards the camera and then changing to over your arm, your front arm. Come now to lift that front heel. Then bring your focus over the front arm. If you can keep that stance, let the right arm come down and the left arm come over. If you need to lower that heel, please do. And if you haven't lowered, we'll lower it now and come into our triangle. So your hand might be quite high up the leg. It might be somewhere lower on the leg. In this position, we're going to take that top arm. It can rest on the back, the sacrum. It might, you can see it there, come right through to create a half bind. And come all the way back up. We swivel with the toes out. We're bending the knees again. We're taking an in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath, in-breath, out-breath. This time the knees bend. The left arm is coming up. We curl the lower one round. We're going to try and lift the right heel. And then we place it down. We swivel over to this side now. We bend. We take the arms out. Once you're comfortable, just come to look over the front arm. See if you can lift the heel of the front leg. And then we're going to tip the arms over to the back. Place the foot down and come into your triangle. In the triangle, we're going to find either a rest for the hand on the sacrum or back somewhere, or it might come through to the thigh. We come back. We swivel forwards, toes out, in breath, out, in, out, in, and out. From here, returning to our neutral standing position. Noticing how you're feeling compared to when you first started. Possibly you feel more awake in different areas of your body. And from here, we're making our way down onto hands and knees. I will first adjust my camera and probably have a drink, so I will see you there. Be inspired. Inspiration. A name for the in-breath, but also connecting with beauty in the world. And we're going to take a few of the yoga positions that engage an imagining of creatures and the beauty of their form. So, the cat with an arched back, pushing up, curving through the spine, really pushing the hands down, the legs down. Seeing if the shoulder blades will open. And we release. From here, we come down onto the lower arms, lace the fingers. Choose a leg, it doesn't matter which one. And we're going to take it up for the scorpion tail. So there's a sense that the foot is trying to make its way over to the head. And you have that curled tail of the scorpion. Let's try that now on the other side. We come back. The toes are curling under. We're having a rock forwards and back. So the next creature is the dolphin. And the symbolic expression is of the dolphin jumping out of the water and the arc that it makes to come back in. So you can, if it's comfortable, lift the knees. If it's not, carry on with the rock. Or you can rock with the knees off. Some of us might be able to extend the legs and have a little rock here. We bring that down, out of the water, onto land and air. Again, choose a leg. It really doesn't matter which one. Bring it forwards. The arms are becoming the pigeon legs. We have the breast of the bird. We could imagine a tail by lifting off the lower leg if it's comfortable. If not, keep it down. So in yoga, often arms become legs, legs become wings. And then we release. Change to the other side. Releasing there. Coming back in. We're going to then change our direction on the mat. Hands still underneath the shoulders. We're going to bring the feet together, but take the knees out as wide as is comfortable for you. So a few choices here in this wide child. You can be up quite high and rock. You could be on the lower arms and rock, or be still. Some of us might like to reach the arms out and place the chest down. Obviously, comfortable placement for the neck, chin. But this isn't for everybody. If you're low down, come back to the lower arms down only. And then we'll all come up to this one where some of you might already be. From here, we're going to take one foot out. It's flexed, but it's in line with the knee. And then the other. So this is your frog. Again, you can rock here. Some of us might be able to come down onto the elbows and take hands to elbows and rock here. So the legs will give you the sense of a frog. This rock might give you a sense of how a frog might leap. Then wherever you are, we'll all come back to this one. Bring the feet in, and we'll bring the legs in. We're now taking the left leg out, toes straight ahead. You have a choice. You can either rock here, or you can bring the right arm and scoop through. So we have a twisted child. You can stay here. Some people might be able to bind. If you're binding, bring the hand down. If you're in the twisted child, we will come back up. The extended leg, we now bend and lift up. You can stay here, or you might be able to take the right hand and lift up. If you're in that configuration, the hand comes back down now, and we join everybody lifted up, and then that comes back. We'll give the hands a shake out, and then we'll come to the other side. So we have the right leg out here. We can rock, we can twist. Some people in this twisted child might also bind. The top arm then comes down. We're back. And actually what I'm going to do this time is just swivel a little bit. You don't need to, so that you can see what happens. We're bending this leg. It's coming up. You can stay there. Or some of you might be able to take hold of the foot. You release. And we all come back to here. And turning to hands and knees, a little rock forwards and backwards. We're going to curl the toes under. We're into the downward dog, which is quite similar to the dolphin, but obviously not on the knees or the elbows. But we're going to have a sense that we can push the lungs towards the legs. So to have breath, we need lungs. We're then going to bend down. We're trying to stay on the toes. If it's possible, come to sit back on the heels. If it's not, then bring the toes down if that's uncomfortable. So just have the feet flat down. From there, we're looking to clasp the thumbs, circle the shoulders back, and you can either stay here or see how far you can carefully tip forwards. It might be here. Some people might come all the way down to the forehead. We release. We're coming up, we're flowing up. The arms are up, you'll obviously lose mine. It doesn't matter actually which one first, but one hand is coming down towards the heel. And back up. Then the other one. Back up. The hands come down. Give one leg a shimmer, shake. And then the other leg, a shimmer and shake. So from the lung focus, we're coming into the sense of grounding from the kidneys right down to the heels. So both hands this time to the right, so we can bring that left foot forward. From here, the right hand comes in a little bit and the left arm comes up. We have the back toes curled under. If it's available, which it might not be, we lift it up and slide the leg back. Whether you have the knee down or the knee up, try and bind and twist to look towards the ceiling. You come back, the hands come down. We're going to try and sit back as far as we can. So probably most of you will be somewhere like this. Some of you might be able to come right back to the heel. Then we rock back. Both hands to the right, so this left leg can come in. We're back into a downward facing dog. However, we're taking the left leg. We can either lift the heel, we can bend, we could lengthen up, and we could bend. If you can see, I've bent the leg up. Whichever position you're in, see if you can lift the heel of the support leg. And you come down into high kneeling and circle through the wrists, then the other way. And to the other side. This time, the hands to the left so that the right leg can come through. Here, the right arm will come up and the left hand then comes in a little bit. So you can stay here. You might like to curl the toes under and stay here. You might like to lift the knee, and some of you might be able to lengthen the knee and drop the pelvis. Whichever one you're in, just bring that top arm into a bind. And then from wherever you are, coming back out. Here, we're lengthening the front leg just as far as is comfortable for you. Some people might be able to curl under the back toes and come to sit back on that. Then we are hands to the left, the leg comes back. The toes are curled under to take us up into the downward facing dog. Here, the right heel lifts. You can stay. You might be able to bend that leg off the mat. You might be able to extend it. You might be able to bend it. I'll just show you there. I'm up higher. Wherever you are, lifting the support heel, bringing it down, softening back out. And then coming to a seated position. However that might be for you. So I tend to cross my legs, but you don't need to cross your legs. We're going to let the spine grow up to the sky and down to the earth. We're going to let the arms rest somewhere where the hands can connect to the knees. Imagine that your legs and feet are growing roots into the earth. Imagine your spine is the stem of a plant. Lifting the arms now. Imagine that these are leaves coming out of the stem. And then at the very top of the stem, your head, imagine a flower. It might be closed, like a bud. It might be open in the full sunshine. So finding a sense of plant within you. So we use the intelligence of the plant to tap into our own bodily wisdom. And then we're softening out of that. From here, we're going to take the legs wide. And bring the hands to the front of the lower rib cage, the thumb to the back. So our breath has 4 stages in its cycle. So we have an in-breath, a pause, an out-breath, pause, in-breath, pause, out-breath, pause. In breath, pause, out breath, pause. Once again, in breath, pause, out breath, pause. Taking the hands behind you, lifting through the trunk of the body here. See if you can lift up the pelvis, point the toes, that helps you to elevate. And back. I'm just sliding back because I want to keep my feet within your view. The legs then come together in parallel. We reach the arms out. The left arm is going to come up and back, and it creates a twist. It's coming back. In fact, I will need to come forward. And then we come down. As we reach back up, it's the right arm now that's going to twist us back. It returns us into a fold. We're going to repeat on the left. Then on the right. When we come back in next time, the feet go to the right, the knees to the left. They're either close together in a mermaid or 90-90 for a mermaid. We press down, we reach, we lift. We come back down and arc over. Ready to start again. Wide. Fingers to the front, thumb to the back. And you might notice that with the breath cycles, that there's movement underneath yours and my hands as the breath moves in and out. So, in breath, pause, out breath, pause. In breath, pause, out breath, pause. In breath, pause, out breath, pause. Hands behind. Lifting up through. You can stay here, or you might press down with the heels, point the feet and lift the pelvis up. From here we slide the feet into parallel. Arms out, this time starting with the right. So it's going to lift up and back, and then it's coming forwards into a fold. Come back up, this time it will be the left. So one more on each side. We now take the knees to the right, the feet to the left. They're either a very close mermaid or they're a 90-90 mermaid configuration. From here, we have a reach. You could stay here. You might want to lift. And then from here, we bring that back and we arc in the direction of the feet. We're coming to sit now with the left leg in front. It can be up high, it can be low. Back to the lungs. The arms are reached up. So we did this in standing, now we're doing it in sitting. We're extending, reaching through the lungs. You might notice that each lung will direct the arm up. We're taking the front leg, the left one. So you have a choice. It can stay up. It might cross over, but you want to still keep your sitting bones connected. Some might be able to drop it down. We're then taking the opposite arm to the top leg. So it will be the right. It comes up. We bend the other one behind. So the hands don't need to touch. If they do touch, they need to stay open. The lungs need to stay open. From here, we tilt forwards. We come back. We release. We're taking the right arm to the outside of the left leg. We're pushing the leg and the arm against each other and twisting round. And coming back, releasing, and doing it all on the other side. So it's the right leg in front, reaching the arms up, right lung, left, right, left. The right leg is up. It might be crossed. It might be dropped. It will be the left arm comes up, bends high. The other arm bends. The hands may or may not touch. From here we fold, trying to keep the sitting bones connected, so it possibly won't go very far. We come back up. We release the arms. The left arm then comes to the outside of the right leg and we twist. Turning back, releasing, and into our last sitting flow. So the legs start in an extended position. The hands at the back, we're stroking down the kidneys, trying to anchor our breath deeper into the body. Then we're taking the arms back, keeping them back as we fold over. We then bring the arms right round. We bend them in, so the hands will come up towards the heart. And then they're coming back as a support. We are bending the right leg. We're taking then the left leg. You rock back a bit. You're either resting it on the ankle or it's coming above the knee. You can readjust here. You might need to be soft back. You might be able to lift up. And this leg becomes a wing. You can stay here, or you might find that you can lift up from here. We come back down. If you slide the right leg, the left one will come off. It's then going to rest down. You have a fold over the leg. The same arm as the lengthened leg now comes inside the leg. The other one comes up and over. It might be high, it might be low. You have a twist. And all the way back. The hands are back. The foot comes flat. We're down onto the lower arms. We're lifting up through the fish. We are keeping the neck lengthened, looking up. The lengthened leg, let the foot flex and bend, and it will create a subtle rock through the body. Then, from stillness, push yourself back, up, ready to go again. Stroking down the kidneys. Taking the arms back, reaching them forwards into the fold. And they bend as they come in, hands towards the heart, then beyond as a support. We're going to bend the left leg. We're taking the right. Now it can either rest over or it can come on top. Here you can say softly down, or you can lift up. Have a little flutter. So this leg has become a wing. Let that cease. You can stay here and just rock through the sit bones, or you might have the lift. We come back down. The underneath leg lengthens so that the bent leg can lower into the groin area. You have a fold. The same arm as the lengthened leg comes inside. The other arm will lift up and over. It could stay up high. It might come lower. We release out the foot of the bent leg flat, finding our fish onto the lower arms, lifting up through. Let the neck lengthen, the head, and the extended leg points and flexes. It creates a rock. We take a pause, and then we gently lower ourselves down. So we have the knees bent, soles of the feet to the mat. We suck in the abdominal muscles, which will push our lower back to the earth. From there, we push through the arms, shoulders, head, feet, and start to curl ourselves away into a bridge. So you're pushing down with the support parts of the body in order to lift up. We're very slowly coming down through the vertebra. We're letting the lower back land. But then as the sacrum comes down, you'll find that there's a little tip and the lower back comes off a little. So we're going to do the same again, but with the arms up. Suck in the abdominals, feel the lower back connecting, start to peel off and up. We then bring that slowly back down. Feel the lower back connecting. As you come through to the sacrum, the lower back tips off. We're going to imagine between our hands we have a big rope, and we're going to start to climb that rope. Notice what it does into the shoulders. You're using your imagination. You need to have some resistance here. And then the hands rest down, lower rib cage. Connect into your breath. You might feel movement out to the sides and back in again. Take one of your hands to the back of the lower rib cage. Connect into breath. This time you might feel the breath moving forwards and backwards. The hand that's at the back, bring it up on the same side, just under the collarbone. Connect into your breath. This time you might feel the breath moving up and down. The breath moves in 3 directions: sides, front, back, up, down. Releasing the hands, taking an in-breath, letting them extend, and on the out-breath, come back in. In-breath, pause, out-breath, back in, pause, in-breath, pause, out-breath, pause. Once more, in-breath, pause, out-breath, pause. Lace the fingers, let them come underneath the back of the head. So this is for the lungs. We're going to slide side to side here, feel the lungs moving. We'll come back. We're now bringing the shoulder to the hip. So we lift the leg, it's bent, and we're staying on the same side. I'm going to change to the other side. Lift the leg, and towards the hip. Once more. Then we're going to alternate this on a diagonal. So we're going to bring the right shoulder towards the left hip, and then the left shoulder across. So the right comes to the left, and the left comes to. We let that settle. We release the hands, coming down by the sides again. We're taking the right leg, just resting it here, creating a wing. Let that come to stillness. Now you can stay here and rock the pelvis side to side, or you might want to push up into the bridge. And we find our way back down, lower back touching, and then it releases. You slide the underneath leg a little, then that one will come off. Then we can go over to the other side. So the other leg becomes a wing. It's having a flitter and a flutter. If it's not available as tightly as this, you can always take that leg back, but it does mean you'll have difficulty doing the bridge. So from here, if you're here, you rock. If you want to do the bridge, knees to come in, and then we peel up. We lower that down. You slide the underneath leg, that will come off. We'll have a few cycles here. Change direction. The feet come down. One leg stays bent, the other lengthens. We use the foot of the bent leg, push through it, and roll onto our fronts. We're not coming right down to the front, but into our cobra. So having a sense here of the snake charmer and the head and the upper part of the snake coming out of the basket. Some of you might have the availability to lift the elbows off, so the snake comes up a bit higher. But if it's compromising your lower back, remain on the elbows. If you are up, we'll come back. We're letting the body lower down with the head. We're taking one leg. It really doesn't matter which one you choose. Let it bend, the foot flexes. We come back up into the cobra upper body, but now we're into the lizard. The toes of the lengthened leg curl under, take the knee off. If you can rock here. Lower the body back down. Let the leg come in. The other leg then bends, the foot flexes. We find our way back. So the lengthened leg. Toes curl under, the knee off. A sense of parallel lizard. See if you can rock. And we come back down, so this leg can come in. And then from here, we're going to widen the arms. Resting the chin on the mat. Choose a leg, it doesn't matter which one. Let it lift up a bit and just see if you can roll onto the opposite shoulder. Some of you might be able to take the foot down. And then we roll on back. And then it's the other leg. It lengthens, it lifts. You might stay there, or you might start to roll a bit. Some of you might be able to put the foot down. And then we bring that back. If it wasn't comfortable with the arms out here, then you could always bring them in. So again, we'll lengthen the leg, lift it up. It might come over and back. The other way. From here, we're going to bring ourselves up. Find a comfortable child position. See if we can connect with our in-breath into the back. You might notice how it can fill the back of the body, the in-breath, all the way down to the lower back. And then we're going to find our way into a comfortable sitting position. Reaching up and down through the spine. Giving the shoulders a loosen out. Let the elbows relax. Wrists. And we'll bring the hands to the heart. Close the eyes. Connect into your internal environment. The movement of breath. The movement of heartbeat. The tingles, the twitches, the itches. Where you feel light, where you feel heavy. The comfy, the uncomfy places. Whatever you notice internally. And externally, the sounds coming into your ears. The feel of the air on your skin. And then opening the eyes, the light, colours, textures and shapes around you. And thank you. So you might have time now to do some more exploration or to rest a while. Otherwise, you're transitioning into whatever follows for you. The skin is always a very good cloth as it's in contact with the outer world, whether it's through clothing or direct air. And I would like to thank you for sharing this breath beauty journey with me. Thank you.